Okay, cool. I had to make sure I did it right.
How are you doing? Thank you for having me.
I'm good, Vinny. How are you?
Not bad. Had a long morning. Got an oil change. Went to the gym. Did a little bit of shopping. Got some G Fuel over here. That's why I took a minute. I had to get some G Fuel. But I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. It's certainly like cloudy and windy over here where I'm at in New York City and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, like I'm really excited for this. I was telling my chatters earlier that usually when I do interviews, I get this like really good nervousness
That's great.
about it. But this one was just like, nah, like I'm good.
It's good.
I'm
That's a good
good.
thing. Um, it's always I actually funny you say it. It's very bad out here. It's like rainy-ish, and I have
Uh-huh.
a pool party tonight, and it's like not gonna happen now at this point.
Man, I mean, I was supposed to like go out today and like walk around and like head to one of the parks, but I was just like, nah, I'll stay up here.
Yeah.
I'll, I'll stay home. Well, again, thank you for joining
Mm-hmm.
me here on the Square Circle podcast. You're part of the Chit Chat series that I have with other wrestlers and referees, which
Oh yeah.
I'm thankful for your time. So
Thank you for you
let's
too.
just jump right into it. I know that it's been very exciting, all the buzz around you going to New Japan Pro Wrestling for the weekend, and I am really excited about that. Congratulations again,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
New Japan Pro Wrestling is like one of my favorite companies to like
Mm-hmm.
support and stuff. So when I saw that, I was like, "That's freaking fantastic that you were
Thanks.
there." And your opponent was Goldy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the first question is, how do you prepare for wrestlers that you might not have faced in the past?
So if it's somebody you haven't faced, you're not really sure what to expect. I believe to always train as hard as you can in the gym, whether it be cardio, training, etc. But when you're wrestling somebody that you do know, for example, in a few weeks I'm wrestling Alex Shelley at FWE North Carolina. That's a match I'm going to be training cardio heavy for because he is very cardio driven. So there's different opponents you have. They have to train harder for. So you have a big opponent, you got to lift heavier weights. The guy who's cardio driven, a lot of technical wrestling, got to have your cardio up. My cardio's up a lot, but Alex Shelley is one of the most active, technical, non-stop wrestlers in the world. So you have to get your cardio up for that match. So yeah, for someone who's that I'm not really familiar with, or that's someone I'm wrestling for the first time, I tend to always do. I train pretty hard every day. I'm doing for any wrestler watching this. For I just need to say this: stretching and yoga or getting yourself warmed up before wrestling is the most important thing. It will
Mhm.
save you from so much. But I do tend to always work out hard every single week. Just depends on who you're wrestling.
And your match was on the pre-show,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay.
Kickoff.
On the kickoff of New Japan Pro Wrestling. How was the crowd? How was their energy?
Oh my god,
What were your like memories about it?
they were phenomenal. The crowd was great. That oh my god, I can't even begin to tell you. Um, a lot of people came for that match. I was told too. Like
Hmm.
do DMs and just like Twitter and stuff. But it was just really, really. It was something. Oh my god, I can't even begin to. It's so hard to put into words because I love New Japan and that's been a dream of mine for so long. Because I used to work for Ring of Honor a lot, and they would
Yes.
do shows together. So I was like, I want to wrestle for New Japan so bad. The turnbuckle, everything about it is just, I love it. So just entrancing, the crowd reacting, the just the way they put the stairs out for me. Like that's what they do. They have like stairs. They put them
Hmm.
out for your entrance. Put them away. Just it was just such surreal experience, and getting the opportunity to like involve my G Fuel sponsorship or my energy drink character deal was just the icing on the cake. So you saw the spot, right? I was crawling to the corner, got the drink, did the
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the G Fuel posted it. It's crazy. I love it. On Instagram, they did a collab with me, and it's still getting likes. It's
yeah.
100,000 views already. Um, so as I'm crawling, the fans realize what I'm going for, and then I'm starting to hear them react. And usually in a match, tunnel vision, you don't really hear fans as much, but like you can
Mhm.
hear them. But I'm hearing like pockets of getting louder and louder because they see what I'm going for. The
Yes.
minute that can cracked open, the place erupted, and I've never in my life felt that fulfilled. I don't think. Maybe when I proposed to my fiance, but other
Yeah,
than
yeah.
that, I've I've never felt like, wow, this is just it. You know what I mean? And I was
Yeah.
just, and the comeback went so well. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but
No,
I
you're good, you're
just
good.
love that moment. That moment was probably one of the biggest in my career because it involved my character so well, and the sponsorship that I have from the character, it just meshed so well, and G Fuel was very happy with it as well. You want to make sure that you're doing good business for your sponsorship because I'll tell you what, I was with Bang before, which
Mhm.
Bang brought me huge buzz.
Yeah.
Um, Leading from that, the Bang sponsorship ended. I spoke to the CEO of G Fuel, and they put trust into me. They're like, "Hey, we don't really do wrestling.
Okay.
We don't do wrestling. We're not a wrestling thing. We're more because I spoke with G Fuel before Bang, and they were
Mhm.
just very adamant on gaming,
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
anime. You know, and that's not who I'm. I'm not a game. I'm going to be hit
Okay.
wink wink getting into the gaming space because it seems like it's really cool, and I never streamed before, so I'm thinking about it. But after I was with Bang and what I did for Bang, what me and Bang did together, G Fuel said, "Okay, we'll give you opportunity."
Yeah.
And I think I did a very very good job so far with G Fuel. Even we're talking about commercials, we're talking about a lot more. Um, yeah, so it's just I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, I even scroll like on my timeline, I'll be seeing the mini commercials that you be setting up for like G Fuel, which is kind of funny and fun to do. You know, I like
Mhm.
doing like little tiny skits and stuff to
Hell yeah.
incorporate things like that, which is kind of fun. You know, so like were you always an energy drinker? I mean, obviously you had Bang, but like, you know, when did that whole thing
So
start
I'll
you
tell
being an
you,
energy drinker?
gotcha. So
Yeah.
this character came from someone named JC. He's a creative guy in wrestling. He's like he ran a company. He's very creative, very good with art. So like his name is JC. I call him the narrator. They call him. He's
Hmm.
very good with art, and he had a vision for like Vinny. This is what I think you should do. And then one day I'm in the car driving, doing my thing, and I'm sitting
Hmm.
here. Um, People knew I was a very good wrestler. But at the time, this is like 2 years ago. At the time, they knew that I needed a hook. I needed something else. You can't just
Yeah.
be at this day and age. You can't just be a good wrestler. You have to have a good promo. You have to have a good um, look. My promo ability skyrocketed ever since EC3 really got onto me. He My promo game really went up. EC3 has been a very big influence on my promos and the character. He called me. He's like, "Hey, me and JC talked, and because they're friends." And he's like, "We think you drink energy drinks. You're extremely always energetic. Why the hell don't you involve energy drinks in your wrestling? Like you do it anyway in real life. This is who you are anyway. It's not even a character. Just include it." Started doing it. I would use any drink, any energy drink. I would go to CVS. I would go to this place, get an energy
Uh
drink, and do it for my entrance, whatever. Um, then I got then I got inspired by what's his name, Duffman.
okay.
That
Yeah.
was this year. So I was like, what could I do? So I have the backwards hat. I have the glasses. Haven't taken the glasses yet, but I have the backward hat and the belt with the energy drinks and the shirt. Um, So that's how it evolved. But I would say last year that phone call happened. I was like, shoot, maybe I will involve energy drinks. Started doing it. The energy drink promo skits that I was doing with other wrestlers or myself or whoever, that was just my idea. I think the one of the first ones I did was with DC3, and then I did one with Gangrel, and Gangrel was all about it. He was like, "Yo,
Hmm.
do these all the time because your character is great, your personality is great. Just use this. Just do it. Like do them with people.
Yeah.
People love interactions. People love promos, content. Just do them." And Gangrel and I did three, I believe, already. So Gangrel's been a very, very big influence also on this character and very motivating because he's always watching what I'm doing and very like, "Hey, Vinny, I saw this. Good shit."
Yeah.
Um, so we did this. We did these skits, these promos, whatever I would do with the energy drinks, enter through the drink. You know, it wasn't until the beginning of this year, I used the drink in a match. I used it for everything
Yeah.
else but wrestling. I would use it post match. I would use it pre match. Never in the ring. So I wrestled for DOA. This is January 7th or 8th. It was a Saturday. This is the week after my mother-in-law passed away. So I went away for a few days. So what happened was, funny timing. I had AEW Wednesday and Friday, and then Saturday I had the indie show.
Yeah.
This is all Northwest. So I'm. This is like a crazy week because so much is going on, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just do something different this weekend. Let me just use a friggin' energy drink in the match, and let me just make this match dope with the drink. I don't care how match can be. It was me against Chris Brady. He's very, very good. He's from the Northwest. And I'm like, this match is going to be sick, but let me do something different. Let me just add some flair to it. I used the drink. The place erupted. Got the drink, drank it, hit the comeback on the guy with a dope comeback. I did a pass by. I did a Enziguri, pull him out, Randy Orton DDT, a whole bunch of really cool stuff I did. But the drink was what fueled it. I crawled to the corner, did the same thing. Drink it, hook up, boom. And got the clip finally, shared it on social media. It got a shit ton of views. So about a week later, I'm at the gym, just working out. I get an email. Oh, wait. This is before the gym. I was driving. I got an email. I'm on the phone with Cheeseburger, getting gas.
Okay.
Getting gas. I revisit the email when I'm at the gym, but I'm first getting gas. I get an email from Bang with the contract saying, we want to sign you, give you this, whatever. This is what's included. This is what we want from you. This is what we heard from you. We saw this. We like this. That's it. And I was like, this is fake. And scrolled off, right? I didn't believe it. Cheeseburger's like, hey, you sure you don't believe that? Because that sounded pretty legit. And I'm like, Cheese, listen, it's bullshit. There's no way Bang is calling me. You kidding me? So I put the phone down. I get the gas. I go to the gym. All right, see you, Cheese. Have a good day. Talk to you later. I go to the gym. I'm hitting chest. And I'm like, you know what? Let me see that email again. I go to the bottom. There's a signature and there's Bang, the logo. And I'm like, this and a phone number. So I'm like, this sounds pretty real. So I emailed them back, talk more about what's included, sign the contract. That's how it all happened. I know it's a long story. I made it long, but that's what happened.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Even with long stories, people who listen can like take the golden nuggets from it, like the wisdom from it and stuff like that of working on the things that people need to work on in order to like go further and beyond in the business. Because, I do agree that like you can't just be a straight up wrestler and like just try to make it. Like you have to have different types of like personality. You have to know when to like joke around, when to be serious, when to do this, when to do that. So it just takes a lot of navigating. So people can like learn from like your whole big like story of how to like get energy drinks and then be a character and all that kind of stuff. Like I'm just very big on like helping young wrestlers like in the business if like they ever want to like contact me to like guide them in a way to be like, hey, maybe work on this, work on that. You're doing good here, but like, you gotta do more training on this side. Like I don't do any of the like, you gotta when you go to the ring and like you do all your training there, but I'm more the other side of like wrestling that I like to help out my boys with. But yeah, that's basically what I like to do in the business behind the scenes as like,
Of course. I love it. And if this podcast can help somebody learn something or inspire someone, I love that. By the way, let's go longer. I can do longer. I know they can wait for me.
All right, cool. So like, we talk about the energy drinks. I did take a peek at your Instagram stories that G Phil sent you some new energy drinks.
Oh my God.
Can you like can you please explain to me and everyone else who may not be an energy drinker what the Sonic one tastes like?
So right now I'm drinking so I'll tell you what. This brand is so good because if you're not a big person, I don't want too many milligrams. They have 140 milligrams too. This one's Naruto, I believe. Dragon Ball Z.
This one is. I'm sorry. I know my animes. I'm sorry.
Oh, you do? That's great.
I do.
Hell yeah.
Uh, yeah, but go ahead.
So they sent me like 70 of them. Because look, because I do these for promos, and
Mm,
I'd rather not go and buy 15 of them from a store, and I'm sponsored. They said, Vinny, whatever you need, tell us. We'll send
yeah.
them to you, whatever you want. They sent me blueberry muffin. I tell
Does
you
it taste
what,
like blueberry muffin? Does it taste
oh
like
my god,
it?
it tastes like the. So like you taste blueberry muffin in a drink, you're like, oh, that's blueberry flavor. No, this is the straight up muffin taste. It's incredible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, the Sonic one.
Yeah.
Sonic is very peachy and delicious. I like that one a lot.
Okay.
But I've fallen in love with Tetris flavor.
Okay. How does that taste?
I said this in a locker room last week, and no one understood it until they tried it.
Uh
It
huh.
tastes like blocks,
Like
like
legit
Legos.
blocks. Like
And
what?
so, and they were like, "What? What this? What are you saying?" And I'm like, "Try it. How's it taste?" And they're like, "Wow, it's like blocks." You ever have the ever had the candy Legos?
No. I'm
There's
being
like this
serious. Like I
candy.
don't know.
Really? No. So okay,
I.
it's a thing. It tastes like candy Legos. Like I had them when I was younger, or they're like candy blocks. It's like a chalky candy. You know what I'm trying to say?
I mean, I've had like chalky candy before, but not that one specifically, or like a Lego one. You know what I'm doing right now, which I probably shouldn't be doing. I'm not. I'm actually looking for it.
Tetris. Look it up. I don't even know what flavor it really is. But if I have to think about it, it tastes
Oh,
like
what about you know every time for Valentine's Day those I love you candy, the heart candies? Like,
not
can we
those, but I
compare it
know
to
those.
that?
Not
Can
those.
no? Oh, okay.
It's not that taste. It's like
No,
literally the chalky Lego candy taste. If you,
listen, man.
it's what it is to
Okay,
me. I don't know.
okay. I was gonna say that I think we should plan one day, since like we both live in New York City and I could like travel to Staten Island whenever I want to. We should do like a video collab of me tasting these energy
Hell yeah!
drinks.
I'll see you the eighth, right?
I hope so. I'm waiting to get word back if you want to throw in for me, but
I will.
hopefully.
I'll hit up Pete.
Yeah, so hopefully. But yeah, so like man, the Tetris one tastes like bricks. Um
Blocks, blocks, not bricks.
oh, blocks.
Blocks,
I
candy
mean
blocks,
it's see, my brain was thinking of like the blocks that like I walk in New York City rather than like, whatever it is. But okay.
candy blocks. I got
Um
you. No, no. Yeah, that's what it tastes like. Concrete blocks.
but yeah, but I do enjoy sour drinks. I do enjoy like peach flavored drinks and stuff like that. So when I saw that you had like the sour one that had like no, it's not Knuckles.
Sour Power.
Yeah, the sour power one.
That's
I was like,
Knuckles.
oh, I'll try that.
That's the one I actually used in the match for New Japan.
Oh, makes perfect sense.
I should have saved it. Should have saved that can. I'm actually have it still. I really
Uh,
saved it.
makes perfect sense. By the way, did you end up eating one of the cheesesteaks that New Japan brought in, and or like did you go to one of the famous places in Philly that night?
I did have a cheesesteak.
Okay.
I wasn't going to. I was like, I got to stick to my diet. But after that match,
Uh-huh.
I was such a high. And you know when
Hmm.
you're on such an emotional high, you're like,
Oh
damn,
yeah.
that's how it was.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Um all right. So, like, I'm proud that you got to debut at New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is awesome, especially in the ECW arena. That's like
Oh
one of
my
my
god.
like favorite places to go. The first time that I was there, I was doing media press for MOW, and that was like
Mm.
really great for that. And then like your sponsorship with G Fuel, which like they freaking love you on Twitter anyway. So I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And it's cool to see G Fuel branching out into like, other athletes and stuff like that, because it is mainly gaming and anime. But
Mm.
to be honest, as much as I love those two categories, that could only go so far. Speaking of gaming, even when you were younger, you never like tried out like a Nintendo
Oh,
or any like favorite memories?
I gamed. So I
Okay.
gamed. Yeah, so all right. Here's my game experience. I went from Spider-Man 1,
Okay.
first game I ever had, I think. Pretty sure. I got the PS2, played that with my dad. We played that together. It was great.
Hmm.
Then I got Star Wars Episode 3. And then it went from that to, I believe, Battlefront 2. Then from there, it went to SmackDown vs. Raw '07 with Triple H on the cover. That
Okay.
I fell in love with that game. Still love it to this day. If they had it, I would buy it in a second. Um, as of right now, I am still playing. I'm currently playing Dead by Daylight.
Okay.
Love that game. I'm gonna buy Chainsaw. The Chainsaw game, Massacre.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I always tell people that if you have an Xbox, it's on Game Pass at the moment. So
What's
if
that
you
mean?
want to save your money,
What's that?
are you a PlayStation guy or an Xbox guy?
Xbox One.
Oh, so yeah, if you have Game Pass, you could try it out for now.
Really? Is it good?
Yeah, because the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, it's interesting. It takes a little while to get used to it. It's a combination of like Friday the 13th, if you play that,
Mm-hmm.
and Dead by Daylight. So it's those two games combined. I've had a couple matches. It's really interesting. You guys, like, if you're the victims, you have to at least work together to get out.
Yeah.
If you're playing the family is very interesting too. They got like superpowers and stuff like that
Oh,
in order
really?
to hear the victims. Yeah. So like I played like two matches. But I'm looking to like live stream it a little bit more. So like I mean we could tag team and I could tag team up with some other people and we
Oh,
could
hell yeah.
like have a whole live stream with it.
Let's do it. So I don't know how. I don't. I'm okay. I'm very bad with technology.
Okay.
How streaming works. I hear. You can make money off it. Is that true?
You just have to like work at it. So it depends, right? So like I'm currently a Twitch affiliate. You have to like meet the requirements in order to do it.
Okay.
There's other live streaming platforms that you can use that I can't really say because of Twitch. But we could always like chat about this like
Yeah.
off this interview. But yeah, you can make money while you stream.
Awesome. I wasn't sure about any of that. I don't know how it works. It's been a thought of mine since G Fuel is giving me a little bit of opportunity because again, I'm not an anime person. I'm not Spider-Man. They have Spider-Man flavors too. I'm not
Yeah.
not Sonic. I'm a professional wrestler. So they give me the opportunity to do something special with their brand, which I think so far I have, and I'm very grateful of that. But I
Hmm.
get back, and I want to start trying the game and start trying to stream because that's what they like. They're into that stuff. So I feel like
Yeah.
since they're letting a professional wrestler and an athlete get involved with their gaming style drinks, because they're
Yeah.
I think that I should at least give back and try to get involved with gaming and streaming.
Definitely. Yeah. And I can I could send you via
Please,
DM like a whole checklist of like what I use and what I do and whatnot. Because even
please.
though like I say this like sparingly, this is like an avenue for me because like the first thing I ever did was the behind the scenes girl of the gaming channel that me and my boyfriend have. So
Hmm.
like, I pushed him to do his dreams. That took off like very decently, and then now I do my own thing, but like together we're like into the whole streaming content creation
Hmm.
type of thing. I should just like DM you like everything that I do.
Please do. Please do. Do you need a computer for it? Or what do you need?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
A computer and or laptop could work. It just depends on like what you're willing to spend, but like I'll give you like the whole checklist.
Please do.
It just
Uh,
depends on what you want.
I just think it's so cool. Like me and a cheeseburger play like all the time, Dead by Daylight, and it's
Uh
such a scary game. But is the same way Chainsaw? Is it scary too?
It kind of is if you're not expecting the family that like runs around. So like so you could be doing something and like if you make a lot of noise, they're obviously gonna come after you because they're like, oh, you just like they picked up what you're doing. But sometimes if you just stay there and you're not paying attention, they could just run and you could be like, oh my god, like getting scared or whatnot. But yeah, I mean it has those effects.
Like that. Fun.
Yeah. This is it feels different. And also when you like level up your character, you have to be like really careful when you level up. You know how in Dead by Daylight you can pick like whatever you want from like the web tree to like level up your
Yeah.
character. You can't do that necessarily in the Texas game. So you have to pick a path. Once
Okay.
you pick that path that you want, everything else gets canceled out. So like you have to make sure that like this is what you want, but I'm just like, man, that's not fair.
I'm gonna try that. I also have the new
Yeah.
game too that I'm gonna be playing too. I haven't played it yet either. I just went on the AEW thing and just checked it out. But I'm gonna play that one.
Oh, I'm still waiting for AEW to be on Game Pass. I have no shame in saying it. Like I don't think that the AEW game is worth the money. I'd rather get it on Game Pass to try it out. But yeah, that's just me.
What?
I would always say that.
Game Pass is like what? It's a yeah, you pay for it and you get all the games when they go to there.
Are you talking about Game Pass?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like Game Pass is for like Xbox exclusive games. Sometimes uh other companies who make games will tell Xbox, let me put my game on there. But yeah, you pay like with taxes like $16, and you get to play whatever game you want. So this is why like I love Xbox Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, it's really not. But then sometimes they'll take certain games down from the store from the Xbox Game Pass, and it's like, man, I love that game. Like I
Uh,
don't feel like paying for it at the moment. But and then sometimes they'll put the game back, and I'm like, make up your mind. What's
yeah,
up?
it makes sense. That's pretty funny. That's very convenient. Good to know.
Yeah. But yeah, I have games and all that kind of stuff. I've been wanting to like hook up my Nintendo Switch to like stream some Nintendo Switch games as well too. But yeah, streaming is like what you make of it, the same way as like being a wrestler and being in the ring and like training and the discipline and stuff. It's just a matter of like what you want to do, and like how you want to like go forth with it. But at least I can help you with all that gaming stuff.
I gotta learn.
Um,
Sounds so much fun. It really does.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean like I'm a big advocate for people to follow their dreams and then also to make hobbies out of full-time stuff and whatnot. So like I just love people who have ambition and stuff like that.
If you can, if
Um
money involved, like if you can make money off of like playing games, I think that's like the best thing in the world, right?
Yeah, it is. Just know that it kind of like fluctuates too. So like, you might not get the same amount of money that you got like for 1 month
Yeah,
versus like the second month. So like it fluctuates. And then people are being more conscious with like their money, if I'm gonna be honest. Like they're being more conscious with who they donate to and stuff like that. So that's why sometimes doing YouTube, sorry, Twitch, doing YouTube, videos stay longer, and the longer that they stay the more money you eventually make. You have to
gotcha.
make you have to be like, if you really want to make it anywhere, you got to play the long game. That
Yeah.
goes for like wrestling, that goes for career, that goes for like corporate, that goes
Yep.
for streaming, that goes for content creation. You got to play the long game. That's why like most of the people today are like where they're at, because they got to play the long game, and it's gonna suck. It's really gonna suck. Like I feel some frustrations from doing content creation sometimes, but most of the time it's like, if I'm able to have this great conversation with Vinny and great conversation with other people,
Mm-hmm.
like that stuff keeps me going, especially like in the space of wrestling, in the space of like streaming and stuff.
Of course. And if you're happy, that's all that matters. I also really heavily believe that if you're happy in life and you're not hurting anybody, who the f is gonna tell you what to do? I just believe if you're happy and you're doing what you're doing and you're just not hurting anybody, do what you want to do in life. You know what I mean? Just make sure you're happy. Make sure your people you love are happy, and that's how I view things. I try to wrestle drama free. I don't ever gossip. I don't get involved in drama. I wrestle. I go home. I see my friends, have good times. But I don't partake in drama. I don't partake in any of that bullshit because it's just, to me, it's not worth it. I always believe also being a good person is very, very important. So and as a good person, I don't talk crap on anybody. I try to lift others up. Whether I think they're doing something wrong or right doesn't matter. That's not me. But regardless
Mm.
of what they're doing and how I feel about it, I still try to be a good person and always try to look at it with grace because that's how I was raised.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. There's a lot more negativity, and I always say that people remember the negativity more than like the
Yep.
positive, and then sometimes people remember more of how you treated them rather than like what you like did for them. Like we go based on like interactions, and that's like a big thing. But at the end of the day, it's like, at least be happy for like people that's like
Of
in your
course.
circle. You don't have to be happy for like everyone. It'll be nice, but like, be happy for people in your circle, lift each other up. Of course you guys are going to maybe have disagreements and like um go in different paths and different directions. That just means that you guys outgrew like how you think, how you act, how you interact with people and stuff like that, and that's just a normal way of life. Like
Of course.
I'll be very bored if like me and Vinny here and other people that I know are exactly the same, and
Hmm.
all we do is like, yes, I agree, and then he says, yes, I agree. Like I'll be very bored,
Yeah.
but but like we're not robots. And
Fun.
this just goes to show
Yeah.
that like the more that you put yourself out there, the more
Hmm.
opportunities that you get. And I'm a big believer that like now that I do commentary on the indies, that like I have this thing of like always making sure that like the people that I'm with, the friends that I make, the connections that I make, I always make sure that they're good in terms of like if I have downtime, I'll make sure that you're good. If you need water, I'll be the first
Yeah.
person to be like, bro, I'm gonna go get you the water. Cause if I can get that for you, I'll do that because I know that wrestlers can't really go outside the curtain as much, to keep everything kayfabe. So if I have downtime, I have no problem being like maneuvered into like where I need to go to do that, because I believe that like in wrestling it's a team effort,
Yeah.
even though like it could always be an I thing, but you could do the I thing on your time, but it's a team effort to make sure that everything gets done, everything goes smooth as possible, and then like later on it could be the individualism that takes hold. But that's how like I try to live whenever I'm in wrestling or even outside of doing content.
Perfectly said. Seriously, that's that. You could not have said anything better. Yeah, I'll be honest. I'll say it right here. I have family members who actually said to my face, "I will not go to an indie show of yours. I only want to go when you have like a big show."
What?
Yeah, and I was like AEW, whether it be New Japan, whatever it is, they don't want to go to an indie show. So, and my
Wow.
fiance got so pissed because she goes to all, not all of them, but she's gone to some
Yeah.
non-good indie shows. She's gone to really good indie shows. She's gone to like I had MLW debut last year. She was there for that. So like she supports me no matter what. This one family member of mine was just said, "I'm not going to go to any of those. Why would I go to that?" Like, and I've had some big matches at indie companies, and you're not going to come see it because it's
Mm,
not TV. Like, are you kidding me?
mhm.
And I had New Japan Saturday, and I didn't invite them. I actually just invited my dad and my fiance. Fiance couldn't make it because it was her parents' anniversary, and it's her father's first. It's her father's first anniversary without his wife being here. So
Oh,
she was there for that, and I'm glad. Hey,
yeah, yeah,
you have to do. You have to do. I love your father too. I'm not gonna. But I had to do what I had to do. Do New Japan because like I said, I freaking love New Japan. But I could have like the setup was beautiful. I could have invited so many people and they would have seen my hard work pay off. But you know
yeah.
what?
Hmm.
I didn't want that person there. You aren't happy for me. You're only coming because it's a big opportunity, not because you weren't there for me when I asked. You know what I mean? Like I had a match against Matt Seidel. I had my mom, my uncle come, my aunt come, and my fiance because they're
Hmm.
fans of Matt Seidel. Uh,
Yeah.
my mom and my fiance and him are pretty cool too. Actually, they're friends. But I invited my brother-in-law and whoever else that didn't really my cousin
Hmm.
support me, and they were like, "Oh no, we're not gonna come. It's a little far away." Um, but when I do this big thing in New Japan on Saturday, and they asked me, "Hey, why didn't you invite us?" I just I didn't feel the need to. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Sort of like
Yeah.
I don't want fake support.
Yep.
If you believe in me and you're down for me and you say and you're and like I'm the same way with same way with them. They have big opportunities. I'm there for it. I go to
Yeah.
so many of my family's events. My little cousin has a football game. I go to it. I'm on the field. What God, cheering and stuff. It ain't
Yeah.
well, but I'm still going and supporting because it's what you do as family. For them to tell me that I can come see an indie show because it's not big enough, I just was just like, all right, that just happened in the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
now when I do eventually wrestle at top company more often, and hopefully sign somewhere. What are you gonna say? Oh, can I get free tickets? No, no,
Nah, nah.
yeah, you know how it
Yeah, I totally get that. In my family, I was the only one to really love wrestling wholeheartedly and really do it. And I was screaming from the top of my lungs that I was going to go work for WWE, and I did that.
goes.
And the only one that like really supported me was like my dad. For people out there that don't know,
But
but yeah, he was the only one that like supported me. So
Eddie,
like, luckily I got the chance to tell him that I made it. And then he was just like, all right, cool, keep going and stuff like that. But sadly, in last year, he passed away. So like,
so sorry.
I didn't get to tell him that I do commentary, but at least I still had the motivation that he knew that I was able to do what I wanted to do. Because other than wrestling, I have a degree in creative writing and a publishing certificate. So like I created a wrestling planner for like wrestlers and fans alike. And then the other dream is to create a wrestling novel.
Okay,
Aside from like, working in the business and stuff like that. But yeah, so like I totally get where you're coming from. I just, I continue to do what I want to do, no matter what people say, because
or
this is like what brings me the most passion, the most ambition, and like I just fucking love it.
that's all that matters. If you're happy doing this, like I said, if you're happy doing this and you have good intentions, all that matters. My father has been support. I started at 14 wrestling, and he was supporting me. Again, at first he was
Uh-huh.
very. At first he was very skeptical.
Hmm.
Like I was playing football, and he was a football player too. So he was like, I was a quarterback, and he was a quarterback. So I was following his footsteps. That's what he wanted me to do: football,
Yeah, yeah,
quarterback, high school, all that stuff. Then eventually I did a meet and greet with Daniel Bryan when I was 13, and he
yeah. Hmm.
motivated me to wrestle. I was like, Dad, yo, listen, I'm wrestling. I'm sorry. Went to school, we made a deal. I was still a fan then. I will buy you a replica championship belt if you do one season of football.
Okay.
Okay, I love belts. Why not? Um, did the season half of it. I It was so toxic. My coach was really, really. My dad coached me for the first few years of my career, football career. Then in high school, my coach was very toxic. One coach who may see this because he follows me,
Hmm.
love him. One coach was toxic as hell, hate him.
Okay. Okay.
And I said, Dad, this is not what I want to do. I appreciate you for pushing me to do this because I was very good at it. And I said, I want to wrestle. At 14, took me to school, trained. Now, 10 years later, I've gotten to say I've done some really, really cool things. And
Yes.
he is so proud of me. He wants me to get signed really bad, and I'm trying so hard to be able to give him that before anything. Knock
Yeah.
on wood.
Hmm.
His health has been hitting. Um, his health hasn't been the best lately. But he's just a wonderful man, and he's for 10 years he's been supporting me. He's been, oh my god, he's drove me. I couldn't drive at 14, so he's driving me to training every
Yeah,
freaking
yeah, yeah.
days. He would be always cheering me on, and just I want to I want to give it to him. I want to show him that I want to just that his support. I did it. Granted, I've done all these really cool things. I've gotten to do. He was there for MLW. He was there. He never saw me at AW yet, but um, live. I did AW twice, but those were far events.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was my first two times at AW. One was in Portland, Oregon. That's across the country. One was in, and the other two times were in Florida, so he could not make those. But I just want to be able to show him that I did it. Like
Yes.
again, I'm grateful for every opportunity, but being able to tell him I signed a contract or I am able to support a family through wrestling,
Yeah.
make him so happy. And he's believed, like I said, he's just believed in me for so long, and it's very, uh, it's bittersweet. So I'm so grateful for everything, and I just want him to be healthy so he can see so much more. You know,
Yeah,
uh,
I know, dude. I know.
I'm sorry
Yeah,
that
I know.
I'm sorry,
Nah,
Anthony.
no worries, dude. I totally get it. I really do.
But you got to see it,
There's
right?
still a part of me, huh?
You got the WWE. You got to see it. That's how cool is that?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, it was cool. It wasn't the position that I wanted. I wanted to be a writer for WWE because that's why I got my degree. Because I was like, hey, I could do writing. There's other aspect to wrestling, but I got in for the WWE Network logging department, so I had to make sure that the SEO was like up to par
Okay,
with the WWE Network. So like when you search for something, it should pop up.
got you.
It shouldn't necessarily like put like random matches in there and stuff like that. But the thing was that like we were in a building far away from not too far away from the headquarters before they moved. But we were one of those departments where it was like Fight Club. Like people knew about it, but like no one really knew about it.
You had to
It was one of those.
you have to
What's
relocate.
up?
You have to relocate.
No, we didn't really. Oh no, I didn't have to relocate. So because I live in the Bronx, I'm able to take the Metro North, and I did that for like 5 days a week. So I took the
Okay.
Metro North back and forth from here to Connecticut. Took a shuttle bus over there, and then sometimes got lucky with a ride home because one of the other workers lived in the same area that I lived. But
What, hour away? Hour, you'd say? Maybe hour and a half?
I think so. I remember I had to wake up like at 4 o'clock in the morning just to get ready to leave by 5 a.m. to get over there by 8. So like an hour and a half ish.
Not too bad. Like I said, you got to do it. That's amazing. Like you literally got to work for WWE. It's amazing, and you should be very proud.
Yeah.
Regardless of, I just like I said, it's the dream. I love wrestling. I'm willing to. I love it so much, and it's just so beautiful how we're able to connect with people. Like even our families. Like again, like I said, my father was not on board with it the first. And
Yeah,
he was on
yeah.
board. He was supportive, but he didn't know how far it would take me. And now he's seeing.
Yeah.
He was sitting front row at New Japan the other day, and he was just ear to ear. And I saw I
Yeah.
just that right there for me was just everything. And if I could do that more and more for him and myself too, like if I just want to be able to show my family I did it. But not only that, I want
Yeah.
to show my niece. I have a niece. She's like
Uh,
turned 5 today actually. I want to be able to show my family that if I could do it, so could they.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I sat my nephew. He's 15. I sat him down. I said, "Yo, Nick, he has basketball tryouts." I'm like, Nicholas,
Okay.
if I freaking did this tryout, I had a tryout for Evolve, and after the tryout, I got invited to NXT
Yep.
from Gabe, and we love
Hmm.
Gabe. Gabe's the man.
Yeah, we do.
Well, that's how we met the space, right? Twitter space.
Yep. I think so. Yeah.
So I was like, if I could do this, if I could go at 15, 20 people and do a tryout and do my best and focus on myself and kill it, why
Hmm.
can't you go to Tottenville, when wherever school you're at? Um, sorry, did not mean to disclose his high school, but I said you could go and kill it. You could go to this school. You have, like, I understand it's scary tryouts. They're scary at people who are taller, shorter, bigger, strong
Hmm.
stuff. But you could go and you could kill it. I said, I promise you, do your damnedest. If I could do it in wrestling, you could do it in basketball. I don't care what you say. He went and he got position. So I just want to be able to be an inspiration to people. And if I could do it, so could you. I came from and that's something that's very important to me too. Being able to show my family that I did it and show my family that if I could do it, so could you. And my friends, because you know
Yeah, I totally believe that. I try to push people around me to be like, look, man, I'm doing it. It's scary. It's scary to step on your own. It's scary to
it is.
not know what like the unknown is, but you got to do it. Like there is no book on like, all right, guys,
Yeah.
from like numbers 1 to 10, this is how it is. Like, no, you have to go out there, do it, trial and error, and like don't think of them as like necessarily like failures if you like somehow end up like failing. It's more like learning lessons of like, all right, cool, that didn't work out well, so let's go to path B, and like if B doesn't work out, you go to C. You just like try and go and keep on going. There are things where you can like really reflect on,
Hmm.
but most of the time, like if you know something doesn't work, maybe change one thing in that whatever didn't work, and then maybe you'll be like a viral hit or whatever or something like that. Like you just gotta look
Exactly.
at things from a
Drink.
different perspective.
Yeah. I did the drink spot and it went freaking nuts. And
Yeah,
it's crazy that within this year,
yeah.
I've had two huge sponsorships. Within a week, signed with G
Hmm.
Fuel, Kurt Angle podcast, that was awesome. And then New Japan booked me. Oh, and then the
Yes.
Kelly, I got that match announced. Like that match was announced. So within a week, I had these four huge things pop up in my career, and that's how wrestling could be, or anything, I'm sure. But wrestling could be out of nowhere. All these huge things come out of nowhere. You know, so you have to always be ready.
Yeah, you do. And I think it's kind of funny you brought that phrase up that you always got to be ready. That's the number one like wrestling 101 rule they teach wrestlers: always be ready by like bringing your gear. Like you never know what
Mhm.
happens. Like I just think that's very funny you brought that up. But yes, guys, like if you're watching this now or like on the VOD or like somewhere on like Spotify or something, like always be ready. And
Mhm.
then even when you're not ready, just act like you're ready and like you'll be okay. Like have that confidence because there have been times where like I wasn't ready for
Mhm.
certain things and I was freaking out, but I was like, man, what do I know the most of? I know professional wrestling like the back of my hand. Like
Yeah.
I can really like sit down, go over a match with you, break it down, and bam, I don't have to have like much research for it. But there are certain cases where like if I'm put into a new environment, I have to like really go in there and like do what I have to do and like rely on people, energy, and what I know. So
Mhm.
go do it.
Of course, that's spot on. Seriously, listen to this. If you're watching, hopefully this resonates with people and they learn, because it's just a beautiful thing. I always bring my gear everywhere I go. I bring my gear. I had one time I had to go down to Florida for a mini vacation to visit my grandma, and a booking popped up in the area where I was.
Hmm.
I couldn't take the booking. I didn't bring my gear with me, but it was just my grandma needed help, and it was very important that I was there for her. So if I went and took the booking, it wouldn't have been ideal for me at the moment. It was a quick stop in visit for my grandma,
Yeah.
and to some indie company was like, "Hey, Vinny, you're in the area. I saw. Are you available?" I was like, "Hey, listen, I don't have my gear on me. I can get it if but I'm really here for my grandma. She fell and she needs help." But that was like a couple years ago. But like I said, wherever I go, I bring my gear. I always have my gear on me. I'm literally going to Florida next week to see my grandma again because I have what is it? I have a week off wrestling at beginning,
Okay.
so I'm going to visit my grandma because she needs some help, and I'm bringing my gear with me in case something in the area pops up. Never know.
Yeah, because Florida is very big on like having wrestling pop up. Anywhere like down south, they always have like wrestling pop up as well. New York is one of those staples now. Like we're trying to get back into the groove of like having wrestling pop up like a lot. Jersey has a lot popping up and stuff like that. But yeah. So like I wanted to ask like for people that like don't get enough bookings, right?
Okay.
Do you have any like advice to them as to like they can get more bookings and or like maybe stay the course or like anything along those lines?
So yes, I have advice. My advice would be reach out to promoters professionally with the nice, don't make it too long, but professional note. Right? Have a resume on hand. Some people say you don't need them. I always believe having a resume. Have a resume and a match that you like, 5 to 8 minutes that you think is really good to send to promoters. Right? Having your trainer in your note who trained you. For me, it was Ring of Honor Dojo and Danny Cage helped me. So that's who I have. And having people vouch for you is very important. So like I said, being a very good person will be huge if you're like, but obviously a genuine good person. If you're a good person and people see it and they could tell and vibe with you, they'll vouch for you. I've vouched people who I think are good people. So I've helped people get booked because they're good people and because they can wrestle. Obviously get properly trained. Work very hard at being very good in the ring. Have a character that is different and make sure you do it well, but also don't be afraid to be yourself. This right here, you can call it a character all you want. It's me. It's who I am. That's why it's so easy. And that's why it works, because it's me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to be yourself and don't be afraid to try new things. Like I said, reach out to promoters. Send follow-ups every few weeks if you want, if you think that's what works. But also go to a reputable. All right, start from scratch. Go to a school and train reputable place. Worldwide Dojo, Monster Factory, Create a Pro. 3 places I think are amazing. Go train from them. If you're in the Northeast, down south, I'm not really sure. I believe New South has a school. They're great. I love them to death. Once you have your fundamentals down, you're a good wrestler, and your trainer's giving you a blessing to wrestle. Create a resume, get some matches in, and use the matches and send them out. Right? Make sure you're professional. Punctuation's all right. That's what I believe. Get in any card you can. If people are inviting you somewhere, go. That's what I did every single week. Every single day I was invited, I would get off of my old job I had, and I would go wherever I can. I quit a job at ShopRite to wrestle on a show with Zack Sabre Jr. And that I still, to this day, that booking meant a lot because I wrestled people from New Japan that day. And I had the opportunity to wrestle people who didn't speak my language. So I was able to learn how to learn that language barrier and have a match with them. So that was very, very big for me. Make sure you have a steady income too. That's something that you could always you invest in yourself. Good gear. Oh, that is so important. Sorry, that's another one. Having a good money coming in, to invest in yourself and having good gear. Don't be afraid to invest money in yourself, in your gear, and it's just you need to have an income before getting merch and stuff like that. You need to have an income so you can get good merch, so you can make more money, so you can make more on bookings when you have these things set for yourself. So get good gear, different gear. I wear boots. I love boots. I have kick pads too, but I don't wear them. But I have good gear. I've always made sure to have good gear. And also, every show you do, be professional. Word gets around. Be easy to work with.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that I am very easy to work with, and that's why things have happened the way they have for me. And pick brains. Talk to people, get to know people. I know it's easy to be shy, but I think you'll feel happier and better after you get over that fear and talk to the person and ask them their advice. Because most of the time, if they're experienced and they're very good and they're farther in wrestling, they're probably willing to give good advice. If they're not, then they probably aren't very good people. So that happened to me once. I asked someone for advice and they're like, "No, get it. No, I'm not in the mood." Yeah, it happened once. This is years ago, but
Man.
rarely will happen. Ask vets to watch your matches too. That's something
Mm-hmm.
that I've done, and every time it's always been very good experience. They get to know you, you learn from them, and that's that. So yeah, good gear, good training, good resume, professional writing to promoters, follow in, create a social media content and buzz for yourself. But I do these drink promos and these skits, and that has skyrocketed me. It's very important you do that. I mean, not whatever skit you could find or whatever content you think is funny. If you think gym content and bodybuilding content, getting showing your body and how better it looks over time, or you think if you think if your content is the gym content, and your content is just whatever you have it at being, stick to that. Whether it be your progress in the gym, whether it be your progress in the ring, whether it be your character work, just make sure you have good content and invest in good content. So yeah, I believe these are the core values you need. content, social media, resume, good school, train, good gear, and be a good person.
I am going to second all of that because that definitely is like, you know, the way to do what you guys need to do out there who are ever struggling to get like more bookings and or being like, you know, is this like really for you? And even if you don't become a wrestler like me right here, you could do other things in the world of professional wrestling and stuff like that. I tried, it's just not for me, but I do like running the ropes, which is kind of weird.
It's fun.
Um, it is. It is. My bumps suck because my body is like, what is wrong with you? You're
Yeah,
not you're
right.
not gonna drop like that. But I do miss running the ropes. I really do. That's like the one thing that I miss. But yeah, like really, really sound advice. Normally, like I was gonna add to that too, that because I do commentary, if there's intermission, I do go up to wrestlers and I do say, hey, I really did enjoy calling you a match. Like it was really good and stuff like that. You know, I give them feedback like there at the show just because.
If you listen, if you're a good person, you could go up to people and say, "Hey, this is what I thought." Like, if you could be social and be friendly, it's never a bad thing, you know. As long as,
Yeah.
like, you know. But if you're just a good person, you have good values and good intentions, you won't go wrong. Also, get if you're starting to fly, if you're wrestling, getting more bookings, starting to fly, get TSA pre-check. That's something you could invest in. That's something
I
that
think I've heard that before, but I mean, do you mind explaining what the TSA pre-check is so that people can know about it?
So you don't go through the main security where you're sitting online for an hour and a half waiting. You go through this other security line and you go right through it. But they have to background check you. They have to do all this process. It's a process to get it, but it's $80 for like 4 or 5 years, I believe, and it's very good. I've had moments where I got to the airport like it was in traffic, and
Mm-hmm.
got there like 5 minutes to boarding, and I made the flight. I never missed a flight in my career. I never missed a flight. Knock on wood, but
Yeah.
it happens. It can happen. And just if you want to also be reliable. Like I said, never missed a flight in my career. Always making sure you were on time because that's so important. People always say he is someone who I could rely on. Get him here. We want to use him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something I believe is very important. And like I said, being in the gym is another big thing. Get in shape. Whether I mean, just not get in ring shape. Be healthy. Be someone who runs. Like I believe personally, wrestling is active. So more so, you want to be able to train for what you do. So
Yep.
if you're a bigger person and you're strong, do strong stuff in the gym or cardio. You always want to be one step ahead. I feel like I just feel like I feel for me, there's not a day that goes by that I don't do something for my career. I'm either in the gym, I do a podcast, I study wrestling, I buy new gear,
Mm-hmm.
or train and ring, or do bookings. That's right. That's all I do. Like I don't. That's all I do, and I think you could see how it pays off. But it's just a constant, never-ending grind. You just constantly like I said, I don't stop. Even in the gym, on my treadmill, I'm booking inquiries, answering inquiries, podcasts hitting me up. I'm getting back to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's never ending. But don't be afraid to don't. But in the process of this, don't lose yourself. If you have a loved one, you're married, you have someone, you have a partner. Just don't lose yourself because there's times where you can very well lose who you are as a person. You're so consumed in this phone and this bookings and these big things happening. You just aren't in the moment. I've gone to I'm going on a rant. I'm sorry, but
No, you're good. You're good.
I've gone to parties where I'm just sitting there like this on my phone, just sitting on my phone texting, or and I could be with my family, hanging out, laughing, playing music, dancing, eating food, good food. My aunt is a great cook. But again, I do have the excuse of big things were happening at that time, so I had to answer these. But
Yeah.
we do fall in the trap of sometimes being on our phone too much or just working on things when give it a minute. Give it a minute. Don't let everything consume you. Work hard. Do what you have to do. But if you have moments with your loved ones or your people you care about, give some time to them. Don't lose yourself, because I've made the mistake a few times, and I'm sitting in my house, and I'm just sitting on my phone, looking at clips, looking at matches, looking at this, looking at that, and my fiance sitting next to me and trying to watch a movie with me, and I'm sitting there on my phone, and I snap out of it. I'm like, oh, babe, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to feel like I'm ignoring you. So I put the phone
Hmm.
down, turn it on silent. I usually have Do Not Disturb on. Boom, and I watch a movie. You have to prioritize. You have to be smart and learn to prioritize what's important. Like I said, I put wrestling first. I've done that a long time, but at times you have to learn to not lose yourself in the process. You know?
I do the same thing. So I told what you were talking about, like I totally did the same thing in order to get to like where I'm at now with my podcast and like everything that I do in wrestling and stuff, and why last year's numbers were like really great in terms of like where I was on Twitch, because I made it to the top 3% in talks and podcasts on Twitch last year.
Yeah,
And then also my podcast last year was heard globally, was like shared around the world, and I was like, the fuck?
it's amazing.
Okay.
See? And now you're on the phone looking and finding out more and seeing all these cool stuff, right? You know,
Yeah, man.
it's hard.
Um, it really is. This year I've sort of like slowed down because I've hit certain things along the journey that like caused me to like lose friendships, and then I had to like sort of rebuild, and then like kept going, and then getting bookings, and then trying to figure out like how I want to spread out my content via like, do I want to stream or do I want to make like videos, like content. I do have a newsletter where like I always say it's an extension of everything that I do, like on the web and stuff. I just like got I guess a partnership or a deal. I don't know what it is exactly, but I got invited to be on like millions.co to
Very
be
good.
part of their family, and also for Cameo as well. So
Mm-hmm.
like, sometimes like, me and Vinny could probably attest to this. If you slow down, the opportunities will come to you as well. So
Yeah,
you put in the hard work, you put in like how fast you want to go, but when you slow down is when you really see like these like cool opportunities come to you. So like,
yeah,
make sure that you stop once in a while to make sure that everything else is growing, if
exactly.
that like analogy makes sense.
What you water will grow. What you water will.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was in the gym just doing abs. New Japan contacted me to book me. So
Oh man.
came out of nowhere. I'm in the gym hitting crunches, and I just get an email. Out of nowhere, it just came. Kurt Angle podcast. I woke up in the morning. Hey, Vinny, I'd like to have you on the show. Out of nowhere.
That's
Like,
fantastic.
it was these beautiful things happen out of nowhere when you least expect it. So, like I said, like if you could sit and water some other things in your life, like I love eating good food and diet. I love dieting, but
Yeah.
I tend to eat a lot of cake, pastries when I go off my diet sometimes. But
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to have a cheat day, but don't make it a cheat.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I don't make it a cheat week. But what I do is I try to water all the things in my life. So if I want
Yeah.
to have like a pastry, I'll say no. But if I have a cheat day, then I'll save it for that. So you have to make sure you're just watering the things you want to water and to grow in your life. Because like I said, the things you water will grow.
Yeah. Which by the way, when I did see I guess the graphic floating around of you being on Kurt Angle's podcast, and even like the screenshot of like Kurt Angle and I'm guessing his co-host and you had like that huge ass smile on your face, and I was just like, oh, that's so cool. Like, it's Kurt Angle's podcast, and I was just like, man, what's the criteria for like getting on this podcast? Like, I thought that was so cool because I love Kurt Angle and
Me,
everything that he's done for the business.
me too. I literally woke up to a text, a
Oh
DM.
wow.
That was it. It was so I forgot what day it was, but I had a dream about.
Oh,
So I had a dream like, so I'm sleeping, right? You ever have like a lucid dream, like you're sleeping but like you're awake, right?
sometimes.
And I'm like, I have my fiance getting ready for work. I'm working later, so like I'm sleeping, whatever. And I have the thought in my head, something big is gonna happen in my career soon.
Hmm.
An hour later, I get a DM. So it was just really weird how that worked out. But I'm very grateful. I'm blessed.
That's awesome. Especially like to see that smile, and then that's when you did the G Fuel announcement,
Oh,
and I was like, oh,
I
cool.
announced, yeah, G Fuel happened like so. It was just so weird how all this happened at once. G Fuel,
Yeah.
G Fuel. That was just like I had to get in contact with the CEO. Obviously, we talked before,
Hmm.
yeah, but like I said, I am thankful what Bang did for me. But I don't, and I believe that me doing Bang has led me to get the G Fuel because it's just I feel like wow, you did Bang, you had all this cool stuff with Bang. Let's see what we can do with you. We'll give you opportunity. And sometimes all you gotta do is try for it. If you some people are afraid to try. I'm afraid to reach out to say NXT for a booking or AEW or ROH or Impact. The least they could, the worst they could do is say no. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like never be
Yeah.
put yourself out there. I've done it. I've had moments where I was at a show and William Regal's there, and I'm sitting there, and I wanted his advice. Shook his hand, asked him for advice, and that turned into an hour long conversation.
Yeah.
I asked Tommy Dreamer recently to watch a match of mine. He watched the match and gave me amazing feedback. You
Hmm.
have to always don't be afraid to put yourself out there because more often than not, it'll be good.
Yeah, definitely. I get it too because I tend to overthink a lot of things, and if I want to talk to somebody, I overthink that and I don't really go for it. But most of the time, I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna talk to this person, I'm gonna talk to that person. So it took me a while to get over that. Like, years ago, I wouldn't be that person. I would still be shy, but like now, I'm just like, fuck it, whatever. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna go get the experience I need to go get. Talk to people who I need to talk to. And yeah, it's scary to do it at first because I think we kind of set up in our mind of like all the rejections that you might
Hmm.
get, and then like your brain just plays with you until you finally do it, and then like you get that relief from it, and you're like, oh, it wasn't that bad. We've all had those moments. But yeah, you just got to go out there, talk to the person, and say, hey,
Yep.
what's up, I'm so and so. I enjoyed this or I enjoyed that. Can you give me feedback on this? And most of the time, they will want to give you feedback. You just got to go out there and really put yourself out there if you want it. Some people don't want it as much, and that's on them. But if you want it, you got to go out there and you got to go do what you got to do.
I make it a point whenever someone asks me to watch the match, I watch the match every time. I make it a point because they're putting trust into me to give them advice. What the least I could do is watch it and give them advice. You know what I mean? Like if they're putting trust into me, that means the world to me. So I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, you're right.
That's exactly like what I did for a while with my tape study series, that like independent wrestlers from like Texas will like reach out to me to be like, hey, can you watch my match? And I'll watch it live on Twitch, and I'll give feedback in real time. And the feedback from that was like, I appreciate that, I see that, okay, thank you. So I tend to do that for wrestlers, since like that's a way of me giving back. And that's like what I love to do. Since I can't wrestle, I could try, but like that's not for me. I'd rather help out the guys who can make the awesome stories in the ring, understand psychology, understand how to set up their matches, how to set up their characters, and work really well with their opponent. Because again, guys, in a match, it's not only about you. It's not about you getting your stuff in. Like, it's both of you guys getting your stuff in to tell a really good
Yeah,
story, to send the fans home happy. And just as a side note, I do have a landline still, and it's ringing, and I'm just gonna leave it alone.
it's
But
fine.
it's bothering me. But yeah.
No, and use the content for Twitch, which is perfect. Uh,
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something else.
oh no,
But cool. I know we've been talking a lot about wrestling. I wanted to talk about food, since
okay,
like you said that your aunt is a really great cook and stuff.
yes,
So what are your top three favorite meals?
sushi, steak, and broccoli, and lobster with. I mean, I'll put sushi with lobster, so I'll give you an extra one. Macaroni, penne vodka, penne alla vodka,
Okay. Okay.
pizza.
Okay.
I could go all day. I'm sorry.
I mean that's totally fine. Like, I cook a bunch of like Italian dishes
There we
over
go.
here. but because I'm half. But the other side is Puerto Rican, so like you get both
Mm,
worlds. Um, I was waiting for you to be like lasagna, like all that kind of stuff. Is there a meal that you don't like or a food you don't
no,
like?
no. I eat liver. I'm a carnivore diet. I do carnivore diet often. When I lose
Oh,
weight and I want to look good for a show, well, I always want to look good. But when I want to really tighten up for like a photo shoot or something like that, I do carnivore for like 2 weeks. And I love carnivore diet. Actually, I more often than not, I'm on the carnivore diet.
oh, that's interesting. I've never heard a wrestler say they're on a carnivore diet. I've heard like vegans, vegetarians, and then people who just eat whatever and go to the gym. But I think you're the first person that I know that does the carnivore diet.
Really, I mean, not all the time. Like I said, like you have to always. Um, I'll do carnivore and then I'll add some carbs in there, like some whatever macaroni, whatever. But I eat like when I'm on the diet, meat, liver, heart's great for you. It's got a lot of vitamins in it.
Uh
Um,
huh.
kidney's delicious. I'm getting a little crazy over here, but it's
Yeah.
delicious. And yeah, no, I don't think there's anything I don't like. I like all food. I really do.
The most craziest thing I've ever had was cow tongue. That's like the craziest thing I've ever
Good.
had. Um, it tasted like bologna.
Hmm.
That's the only thing I can remember from it. It tasted like bologna.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the craziest thing that I ever had. But that's interesting. Because like I've seen online videos about the carnivore diet and like
Yeah.
you eat meat and or like you have like bone marrow and stuff. Like I don't know. Mm. You just recommended just to get like shredded and more like
Personally,
lean.
for me, yeah, getting
Yeah.
shredded, I love the carnivore diet.
Okay. And then if
Personally,
you
for me,
add carbs, and then if you add like some carbs to it, does
I
it throw
add
off
fruit
balances?
for
Oh,
for for carbs. I'll add like banana if I need it. I try to when I'm on my carnivore diet. I try to just do no carbs for 2 weeks. But if I'm doing the carbs, I'll just do banana, some strawberries and blueberries, maybe a little bit of honey.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna make so the liver, the kidneys, and the hearts
Yes.
are all gonna taste sweet. It's all gonna be a sweet
No.
thing.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
It's gonna be mad sweet.
Yeah. Right.
It's definitely gonna like warm your own heart up by having like all the carnivore diet with fruits.
Yeah.
A match made in heaven.
It's definitely a match. It's definitely a match.
But yeah, that's very interesting. I have to like
Hmm.
process that. Just because like I said, I've seen it around, but like I know that's as much as I love eating meat, I don't think that I would be able to just be okay with just eating meat.
It's hard.
Like I would have to
It's
have
very hard.
like yeah. Um, but at least you just do it for like, shred it and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But okay, so my last question
Shoot.
is going to be because I asked this question to like everybody in no particular order from 1 through 5. What are your top 5 wrestling championships?
Looks or what?
Whatever is your favorite ones.
5 being the best or worst?
It does not matter.
All
There is
right.
no particular order.
I love the spinner belt.
Okay.
I love the United States belt.
Okay.
The New Japan belt, heavyweight one.
Okay.
New
Wait,
Japan
are
United
we
States one.
doing wait for the New Japan heavyweight one, are we doing the current one or like version 4?
The one Kurt Angle and Styles had.
Okay, so version 4.
Version 4.
Okay.
And I like that's 3, right?
Yeah.
I like I
You
like
said
the
United
TNA
States.
title that
Okay.
that Kurt held and EC3 held,
Okay.
the big one. And I like the IC championship, the white one.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Had to be mentioned.
Uh yeah, yeah. But yeah, so guys, you heard his top 5 in no particular order, in no particular like thing, but I like to say top 5 championship belts because I do accept to everybody just because it's something different. But I think that's all for this interview. Vinny, it was amazing. We had like this amazing conversation
It was
about like
great.
life. Yeah, life, doing what you got to do, doing everything. I really do hope that like it inspires somebody.
Me too.
And eventually we'll get Vinny to like play video games with us too. So
Hell yeah.
that'll be great.
Sooner than later, I hope.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that'll be great. I'll make sure to send over the checklist, and you go from there. And
Please do.
I'll be here to help you out with whatever like you need. But Vinny, as always, put yourself over, tell people where they can find you, all that kind of stuff, and even promote G Fuel. Like if you have like a code, whatever, go crazy,
G Fuel code for discount,
whatever.
Power Punch. Straight up. Vinny Pacifico, one's my Twitter. I post fun content. And on Instagram too. Vinny Pacifico is just Instagram. And Facebook is Vinny Pacifico. So add me, enjoy, and stay safe, guys. Much love.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Twitch. Make sure to follow the channel, twitch.tv/Marie_shadows. This interview will be up on all major podcasting platforms. And sign up to the newsletter, marieshadows.substack.com, to get more information on this and some more goodies and some other things over at the Square Circle Society over on Substack. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. I'm Marie Shadows, and I'll see you guys on the next one.